Hey guys, Bernard Chambeau here with my co-host Dominic Szabo, welcoming you back to Real Push Podcast, where we are always delighted to bring you fascinating stories from industry experts, successful entrepreneurs, local sports celebrities, and of course, all things inspirational and value add. And man, do we have some value add for you today.
We do.
She has been in her profession for 12 years, currently a level 3 MAAO, Michigan Advanced Assessing Officer, has a great social media presence, was featured in Voyager Michigan Magazine, president and CEO of PTA Property Tax Academy. Please join me in welcoming Christine Lucian.
That was a great introduction. Thank you so much, and thanks for having me today.
Thanks for being here, Christine. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, man.
Want to put you on the spot just before we get started. Quick question for you. Did Benjamin Franklin know what he was talking about when he said nothing in life is guaranteed besides death and taxes?
Absolutely. I've heard that a lot, and unfortunately, it's true.
I bet.
Very true, very true. We want to start off by saying we've been friends for about 15 years now, probably since I moved here.
Yes.
It's been about 15, yeah.
Since you moved from California to Michigan, I've known you that long, and it's been interesting to see how we've both grown since then.
Absolutely. It's amazing. So I wanted to start off with the question of how you came to be in tax assessing. I know you were going into an angle of digital arts or into the digital field or computer field, but you kind of switched, and let us know how the tax assessing came through.
In high school, all throughout high school, I was in architectural classes, and I drew CAD drawings every day. And with that, I was able to secure a high school co-op position with an assessing department near my house, where I had sketched homes all the time and learned a lot. I was there for about a year and a half, and then I went off to Oakland and got my bachelor's of arts in the digital media. And then right when I got out of college, an assessing job fell on my lap, and the rest is history. I've been with the same company now for over 12 years. So
12 years now?
Yes.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow. That is awesome. And I did an introduction for you, but there's so many more things I could have absolutely said. Your social media presence is absolutely brilliant. It is what attracted Dom and I, because it adds so much value to what realtors do. We know we introduced the Property Tax Academy that you started. I want to get into that as well. But tell us about what's going on personally. Any new developments with maybe taking your career to the next level? I know level 4 is a master assessor. Anything in the works for that? Want to get into that? And then Dominic, I know we'll get into some personal stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I am in the master's program as we speak. It is a year-long program. Out of 46 applicants last year, only 5 finished.
Wow.
And I believe in my current class, there's about 25. So we will see what happens. I have to drive to Lansing once a month and do weekly homework and do a full commercial or industrial appraisal next summer. So it'll be worth it. I'm excited.
Good.
And I'm motivated.
That's awesome.
How long is that process?
So this class alone is 1 year, and the prior certifications were 1 year, 6 months, and just a month. So this is one of the longer ones, and it's going to take a big commitment.
Nice. Is that the highest?
It is.
That's the highest level.
It is. Yes.
Nice. I mean, 12 years now, and now you're capping out at the highest. That's awesome, dude.
Yes, I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Hey, Dom, have you guys had a childhood, known each other growing up?
Yes. As soon as when I moved here, she was friend of the family, basically life family, and then we just been friends ever since. Seen her get married to a very good man. Seen her have a kid, and doing the whole wife thing and the mom thing, which is pretty awesome to see. And then I'm seeing her develop her career into something that. I'm not gonna say I didn't think it would be that way, but she's taking it all the way to the top, which is awesome.
Can I add on that really quick?
Please.
So in January, I've been in this industry a long time, right? But the trend has been people don't really know what an assessor is.
Yes.
My entire career up until this year, when I've been at gatherings or social events and, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm an assessor. What's that?
So give
They
us,
don't
give us
know.
the layman's terms. What's the layman's terms of it?
Or they say, ooh, yikes. The
No one
people that
likes
do
talking
know.
about taxes.
So, in January, I started social media because I wanted to break the bad stereotype. I wanted to also explain to people all the bad that I've been seeing, all the problems, and all the things that I wish people would know. So I'm excited that I just started doing these videos earlier in the year because it's been really rewarding.
Yeah.
So you made a comment that you didn't see my career going this way. Well, neither did I.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I'm excited about it because I get to help people.
Yeah, and people talk about, I mean, I know you have a large following, but in our basically field, a lot of people have talked about the information you're giving them and how they send it to clients. And there's clients that are emailing you or messaging you on social media with questions that you're answering. So it seems like it's going pretty successful on the social media end as well.
I get messages, text messages, and emails every day.
I would agree, Dom, and I think the thing that sets you apart, particularly in a lot of other realtors that I talk to, is the content is so valuable. And I think if you're putting out content, number one, it needs to be attention getting, but there's so much value added to the stuff that you're doing because realtors are always looking for that opinion of tax assessing. I know you mentioned a couple of personal items and family, so I know the thing you're probably most proud of in everything you've done, obviously, number one, being a wife, and number two, being a mother to Hovey, your 5-year-old little BMXer. Tell us a little bit about him, and then we'll get into a little bit more of the business.
Ever since Hovey was born, he has seemed to be advanced in numerous things. He has no fear. He is the bravest little boy I've ever met in my life. He started riding a bike without training wheels at age 3. And over the summer, he got a BMX bike because his dad loves that stuff and they're best friends. So I all of a sudden see him rolling, standing on the seat, hunched over, holding on to the handlebars, just grinning ear to ear. And he has a motorcycle as well.
Wow, at 5.
And he's
5-year-old.
asking for a 4-wheeler currently, and his birthday's next week. So we're going to see what we can make happen.
Love it. You get emotional talking about him. Seeing you turn
Because
up
I
a little
just
bit.
can't believe it. I can't
Love to see
believe
that.
5 years have gone by, and I can't believe how incredible he is because he really is. He's so social. Being an only child and being with my husband and I, our best friend, he's extremely articulate for his age, and I get a lot of compliments on him. His teachers recently told me that he has a level of empathy in him that they don't often see in his age. So
awesome.
I'm really happy.
That's close to home.
Comes
That
from me.
comes from the parents.
Yeah,
Because I know I didn't take my training wheels off until I was 10 on my bicycle. So for him to do it at 3 is pretty impressive. Awesome. I want to get back to the business part of it. I think a lot of what our listeners like is that value add, and there's so much room for interpretation in what you do. The taxes, the assessing. I had read a quote that I was impressed by. It was in the Michigan Voyager magazine. You had said, assessors are left to decipher the law. You have mastered your craft of customer service. And I think that really hit home to me. I've been in hospitality for 20, 25 years. We're doing hospitality at the highest level. You're dealing with people's money. They need a decision right away. You need to make a decision for them right away. And I feel like if there's a lot of deep dive information you need to do, the customer service piece certainly helps with that. What made you realize this needs to be part of my niche?
Customer service is just built into who I am. I received training at the Walt Disney Company when I interned there, and awesome. I love it. But beyond that, in my industry, there are a lot of people that are not as approachable, and I feel the need to end that stereotype. And I have a lot of empathy, like we just talked about, and when people and residents and taxpayers are coming to me needing help, I feel very responsible for giving them all that I have. And that includes a kind smile and, as much help as possible, because they get very emotional about property tax.
Yeah.
Very emotional, especially people who are not extremely wealthy, and every dollar counts, and every $50 on their mortgage payment per month matters. I have just developed a way of speaking with people that can explain things easily in a way that they'll understand while showing them that I genuinely care about their best interest. And the feedback I've received from that, from the residents in the communities that I serve, has been so rewarding that I have continued to develop that more and more.
100%, and I think you'll find referrals with it. And I just want to paint a quick picture for some of our listeners that might not really understand. There's a lot of lesser experienced loan officers or realtors that might be more inclined to the sale than to explaining the right process. And I'm not saying that's everybody. It's certainly not. So when there are tax dollars that come up, and when there are assessment dollars that come up, and when that mortgage payment looks differently for tax reasons and it's not explained properly, it's a game changer. It adds so much misery and really just disappointment in one's purchase. So the tax piece, the assessing piece, SCVs, I can get into all sorts of acronyms that you provide. A lot of that is a value that you add is so important for that newer, either that newer agent and that first time home buyer particularly.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you agree, Dom?
Definitely. I think it's you got some top tier customer service. Definitely with that, to have the patience and time to explain people about what's going on with their taxes, especially people that grow up having no clue about how taxes work here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Or no one's teaching them. Father, maybe didn't know any better. Maybe they're foreign. Maybe they're immigrants. But that's why I say it's top tier customer service because, and hospitality, because you got to break some difficult stuff down to people that have no idea what this is about.
People of all ages don't know what it's about.
For sure. Christine, let's go 101. Let's dumb it down for even people that have been in the business for a long time. Buying a house for a client, looking at a $300K purchase price. From a tax standpoint and assessing standpoint, what's the most important thing we should educate our client on what to look for? And I'm just going to say it, and I'm hoping you can confirm it. Taxes are never going to be what they are for a first-time home buyer. Pretty fair to say?
The taxes are based off of the market conditions when you're buying it right now.
Correct.
The prior owner's taxes, which is often used in the calculations during closings,
Sure.
could be based off of the taxes 20 years ago. And it's improper to assume that they're going to be similar.
So let me just give you an example. I'm buying a client for a house at $300,000 in Sterling Heights or any other city, and the taxes for that year were $3,000, $6,000, $5,000, and that previous owner lived there for 20 years. What sort of increase can they expect for a new first-time home buyer?
Probably every property is different, but probably at least $3,000 to $4,000 right off the bat, just for the gap between the taxable value and the state equalized value, not considering market conditions.
Dom, you know this, and a lot of what realtors may do is say, "Oh, the taxes were $5,000. Your taxes are going to be $5,000."
We always look at last year.
That's not the case.
Yeah, so
that's not the case.
Yeah, but this is why she's becoming more and more successful at what she does, is because people are getting informed that that isn't the case, and we are looking bad by going off of last year's taxes. But I wanted to segue off of that too and say you do have a new venture that you started up.
Yes.
We haven't really discussed it. We haven't seen each other since then. But I would like to bring up the PTA, which is the Property Tax Academy.
Yes.
Give us a breakdown, what that is, what it is on social, what it's meant to be, how is it supposed to benefit the average consumer, how does it benefit real estate agents, loan officers, investors, so on and so forth.
So I just launched this because...
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Awesome.
You know, like I said, I started making videos in January, and the demand just grew so quickly from real estate agents for learning. You know, I have a lot of content on social media. You can learn so many things, but people are busy. So I created continuing education course. It's called Property Tax 101. It's a 2-hour legal course. I am going to be developing a shortened version of it for a 1-hour legal. And then I do have plans to create elective hour courses regarding property transfer forms and closing forms and land divisions. There's a lot of content that can be created to provide education to real estate agents. Beyond that, mortgage lenders have a lot to learn from me in regards to the formulas that they're using. And I really am excited to see how it develops and all the different types of professionals I'll be able to help through it.
Love that. So is there a separate class for lenders as opposed to realtors?
So it's currently for real estate agents because they are required to have continuing education. I am not sure the rules regarding mortgage lenders. I feel as though they may not need Con Ed. I don't believe that they do. So I have courses developed where they can have me come and speak to their groups and their office, but they obviously don't get continuing education.
Does this
for
go
it.
directly to our continuing education? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
So it's a certified legal class
Yes,
that goes
I was
towards
certified.
100%, 100%. Huge value add, and we'll get you some information on
awesome.
on the podcast.
Yes.
Maybe add a link to it for PTA, the Property Tax Academy. I love that. As realtors, we do need continuing education every year,
definitely.
particularly in October for most of us. But
course, yeah.
it's 6 to 8 credits. Two credits right there on property. Not only that, you're really educating yourself on one of the biggest and most important pieces of the real estate
Could be one of the
transaction.
biggest hiccups of a closing too.
100%,
Yeah,
100%. I'm glad you brought that up, Dominic. Christine, in our business, I'm in a position, very fortunate to mentor a lot of newer agents, put them in a position to help grow their brand and business. I would imagine some newer and lesser experienced tax assessors, maybe not obviously at level 3, they wouldn't be at your level, but any mentorship you're providing for some newer and upper-coming agents looking to do what you're doing?
Well, as far as the continuing education and all of that I'm doing all of that solo. But in my everyday work, I am mentoring 2 people now and developing them to be able to take over their own communities eventually.
Love that.
So that's been rewarding in itself.
Love that. Let me go conversely to that. Growing up, I know you had a mentor. I actually read I read a story that was in the article as well. And let me just kind of set the stage, because I know when I thought about it, it reminded me of my relationship with my father. Super, super tough mentor. Somebody that took you under their wing growing up. A lot of tough conversations, threw you out into the open with the wolves. A lot of back and forth, and maybe pushed you to the point where it was almost, am I really in this? Am I really doing the right thing? With the benefit of hindsight, having looked back at it now, I know I made the example of my father, but tell us about your mentor growing up and the tough love that they provided for you.
I worked with my mentor for 9 years.
Yeah.
And I owe him a lot. He taught me organization. He is a human encyclopedia. And he forced me to get into uncomfortable situations almost daily. And
Just to let you know how it feels. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I know that I'm thankful for it.
Well, you get emotional again when you talk about him.
Yeah, I do, because I really do owe him so much, because prior to him becoming my mentor, he wasn't my mentor from the beginning. There were a couple of years where I was with other people and my career did not develop the way it did once I started working with him.
Nice.
He pushed me to go outside my comfort zone and make me scratch my way out and figure it out. And I implement a little bit of that in the people that I mentor.
Sure.
Because I know how valuable it was.
Yeah.
I do it a little kinder than he did, but I take my personality and his personality and mix them a bit, and I'm providing, I think, well-rounded mentorship to the 2 gentlemen that I'm mentoring.
That's nice. I see that he is your old mentor was a lot closer to what you kind of make it out to seem.
Yes, I don't want to get emotional about it, but he just he's like an uncle to me now.
Got a picture of Hobie in the office.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you had mentioned that one time to me that he had a
I
picture of
mailed
him, so
him a photo of my son for his school photos.
Is he on the bike?
No, it was his official school pictures.
Nice.
And it was getting into busy season, and I knew that my mentor needed some cheering up, because I stopped working with him a couple of years ago when I got promoted.
Right.
So I still feel guilty that I left him and I miss him. So I mailed him a photo, and he took it to the office I used to work with him in and snapped a picture of it and said, "Look who's working with me today." And I always, send him Christmas cards, and I just make sure that I don't get to talk to him all the time because we're very busy, but I always make sure that he knows that he's on my mind every once in a while.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. I would add, you know, I think you said I do feel guilty leaving him, but I think that's just a sign of where you've come. That's just
growth.
the elevation of your business and the expandment of your brand, and that's a good thing. That's going to happen to all of us.
He was hesitant to have me leave, but he was very happy for me.
Good.
And I think that's great. That's exactly what a mentor should feel.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Let's look ahead. Anything that we should prepare ourselves for in 2024? Dominic and I can certainly talk about what the housing market looks like in terms of some of the challenges the buyers have and interest rates. Sure. Are there any planned changes as far as tax assessing goes, as far as other things that realtors should be looking out for on maybe educating the client?
New rules.
Well, two things. This one is new for this year, but I have spoken to a lot of CPAs that still don't have it on their radar. For small business tax, you have to pay personal property tax on your furniture and equipment within your business. If you, prior to this year, if you owned under $80,000 of true cash, furniture and equipment within your retail location, warehouse, whatever, then you could file an exemption form and not pay any tax. Well, they increased that this year to $180,000.
Wow.
Which is going to eliminate tax bills for a lot of business owners.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing it's not new for next year, but I'm bringing it up because I, again, spoke to many tax preparers that weren't aware of it this year. So I really want to make sure that gets on business owners' radar. And additionally, I can professionally predict a 5% tax increase next year.
Wow.
There's no way that it would go down, in my professional opinion.
Can you give an example of that? Just layman's terms, simple numbers. You said I predict a 5% tax increase. What does that look like for a home buyer buying at, let's just do a round number of 200,000?
Yeah.
You buying for 200,000?
Let's just do. I want to make the math simple.
So you would cut that number in half and add 5% to 100,000.
Which is is it SEV?
Yes,
There you
the
go.
SEV is 50% of the true cash value, and then 5% on top of that. And that's for new purchasers and people who've lived in their home for 40 years.
Yeah.
5%.
For 40 or 4?
Doesn't matter how long. 5% for people who have owned their home for longer than one calendar year, they're getting a 5% increase as well.
100%. And listen, to our listeners out there, I know it's a lot of numbers. I know it sounds like jargon. I know it's something that's, you know, I'm just going to say it, pretty boring. But if it's your profession, if it's your passion, if you are in real estate, if you are in lending, if you are in assessing, this is valuable information that you can use to help your brand grow, that you can provide. Because we know this, Dominic, the best thing we can do for our clients is educate them. And I think it's untouchable.
Yeah, having the information to be able to get the job done.
It's numbers. It's boring.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
It's boring, but anybody who owns a property, whether you're in the business or not, is affected. You could be a nurse. You could work at McDonald's. If you own a property,
100%.
this is affecting you. So if it's hard to understand right now, check out my social media, send me a message. I'm happy to explain it.
Class.
Or a Con Ed class. But beyond that, I am used to speaking to people who don't work in this industry whatsoever.
Good.
All walks of earth, blue collar, car salesman, you name it.
Nice.
And I have had to develop how to explain things to them, how to speak to them so they do understand how their wallets are affected. And so although real estate professionals, mortgage lenders, title companies have a lot of things to gain from me, a lot of knowledge, I do think that regular property owners really need to understand
consumer, definitely.
Absolutely, because it's their money.
Yeah. Don't mess with my money.
Yeah, no one likes someone messing with their pockets. So we totally understand that the average consumer should know exactly what's going on.
Yes, it's important.
We talked off camera real quick just to kind of maybe shift from taxes and assessing. And I mentioned to you, you and my wife have something in common. I know on the side, I want to just mention a few things that you do. You had a little party planning. You do some of the event planning. You had made you had done some things as a hobby. So I know
Flyers, cards.
places. I said, you and my wife would get along really quick.
Yeah, I'm creative for sure.
Creative for sure. And also, personally, I know you're an outdoor girl.
Oh, yeah.
I know you love camping. I know you love nature. Where did all that come from? Tell us a little bit about that.
My
before we-
entire life, my dad dragged me and my sister along in his motorhome all around the country, all the way out to Montana.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to pitch a tent, build a fire.
That's kind of
I
awesome,
had to go fishing, and I love doing it now because I'm a boy mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend, we had spent hours in the river looking to try and catch frogs. And I was all about it. It makes him so happy. It makes me happy. I just love nature. If I'm outside, I'm happy. I love it.
We got a great state for that. I wish we had more summer, but we're heading into fall.
Yeah.
I love
Season's
fall
changing.
though.
Oh yeah.
Fall's my favorite
It's all
season.
about 2 weeks. About 14 days, then it gets really cold.
And I do like winter, so I'm excited for winter this year because I bought a bunch of new sleds and tubes, and I'm ready to. I have a Evil Knievel on my hands.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So, real quick story regarding the BMX bike. We had gone to a park near one of my offices on a day where I brought my son to work, and there is a sledding hill that is gigantic. This guy took his BMX bike down the hill,
No fear.
going
He don't care.
20 miles per hour.
No helmet or nothing?
No helmet.
Yeah, he's got to wear a helmet.
I know, but he loved it, and he's okay.
That's
and
good.
we're getting ready to do it on a sled.
We do got to get that helmet for sure. No fear though. I love that. I'm a winter person too. My brother-in-law actually just bought me a whole new set of skis, man. We had skied 5 or 6 times, Rebecca's brother, and he just surprised me with a whole new set of skis. But I'm excited for winter now. I got a whole new set of skis.
Something to look forward to.
Something to definitely look forward to. Something to definitely look forward to.
I'm excited.
I love that story. He's absolutely fearless. You're gonna have to keep your eye on him and get him a helmet.
He has a motorcycle helmet for his motorcycle. Maybe I'll make him wear that
Yeah.
one.
So it is Friday. I know I've seen a lot of your Instas. You know what I'm getting at.
Fun fact
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, fun fact
So
Friday.
today we
What
are.
do you got for us today? What do you got? Fun
Today's
fact
number
Friday.
25.
Okay.
Not bad. That's
Number
good.
25.
weeks straight.
I can't believe that through sickness, through health, through vacations,
Through surgeries.
I have managed to never miss a Friday in 25 weeks.
Good for you. God bless. Keep that longevity going. What are the facts for today?
So
Hit us with that.
I am not telling you my Fun Fact Friday for today, number 25. You'll have to head over to my Instagram for that, but I can give you a past one.
What a brilliant move.
Sharp, man.
Well done. Well done, Christine.
So tax day in Michigan is for property taxes December 31st. It's not the same as for your tax returns. And this matters because if you're strategic with your closings and when you move in, you have the ability to save on multiple properties. And so whatever is there as of December 31st is what you're getting charged for all year. So if you're not done building your house by December 31st, you get a little bit of break that next year. Even if you finish your house February 1st, I'm still not charging for you at being complete because it wasn't done December 31st. Same for that small business that we were talking about. If you move your business before December 31st and do a new community, I won't be charging you for anything there. So if you use it strategically, you could save some money. It's a good thing to be aware of.
It's a good thing to know. Definitely.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Dominic, did we miss anything? Christine, did we miss anything in terms of getting to know you? We got to know the family a little bit.
Yeah, let's let the people know where to contact you for the classes, for your Instagram, for messaging, for all the information that you put out there on social. Pull out all your handles.
How do they get a hold of you?
So the Michigan Assessor is on all of the socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and I'm also on LinkedIn. I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn, believe it or not.
Business driven
Yes.
social media
Yes.
type. Definitely.
And beyond that, regular residents who aren't in the industry are always concerned. I'm buying a new house. Help me.
Oh,
Give me
yeah,
a tax
definitely.
analysis, please. What can I expect? And so I really love those. My phone number, 313-799-2021. My email, themiassessor@gmail.com. And I'm an open book. I love helping people. I love talking. So bring me all your questions, and I'm happy to be there for you.
Also, Property Tax Academy, also on Instagram and all the social
Instagram, yep. It's Property Tax Academy. That is the only place that real estate agents will be able to get updates on classes. I am actually going to be doing a Zoom class coming up here where people can sign up and do that. So Property Tax Academy on Instagram, that's where you'll get updates regarding Con Ed and new classes, because I do have a lot of classes planned.
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
And that's just a part of the brand growing, which is an absolutely beautiful thing.
It's grown more than I expected.
Fantastic.
Great to hear the story.
I'm gonna give you an outro because you absolutely deserve it, and it's stuff that we talked about. The two new things, obviously, in your life. You got the master assessment you're working on. You got the Property Tax Academy, which we talked about. For anybody looking for continuing education, super important. You got her handles. We'll certainly share them on our page as well. And it's such a pleasure to have you. We're delighted to get to share you and get that information out to our listeners. As far as the listeners go, if you liked what you heard, please give us a follow on all our social sites, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Give us a like, share us to your friends. That's Dominic Shaba. I'm Bernard Chambeau. And remember, whatever life's thrown at you, keep pushing through. Real Push Podcast. We'll see you out there on some next episodes. We got some great guests lined up. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.